Good evening. We have tonight the first pictures of the aftermath of the U.S. attack on that fleet of Chinese merchant vessels that had crossed into the total exclusion zone. The pictures you are seeing were shot from a Navy helicopter searching for survivors. There were none. Sonia Marshall at the White House. Is the president talking?
Jim, no word from the president himself, but his press aide, Stan Oakley, gave an informal briefing.
No one with a shred of humanity can be anything but distressed by the loss of civilian life. But we must make it quite clear. These vessels were entering an exclusion zone which was clearly identified to the Chinese leadership as an area within which any vessel could be attacked. We're investigating suggestions that the Chinese leadership deliberately failed to warn this fleet and allowed the ships to become sitting targets, a sacrifice for their own propaganda purposes.
Jim, that line about sacrifice has been heard before, and sources here stress that it is not intended as a device to deflect any outrage at the loss of civilian life, but a genuine theory as to why the Chinese would allow these vessels to sail towards disaster.
Sonia, the Chinese government clearly sees an opportunity with these pictures, a chance to perhaps divide the U.S. from its allies, who have until now supported the U.S. military's involvement in the Spratlys. Listen to the Chinese ambassador a few moments ago.
The world can see clearly now the inhumane and vicious nature of this American government. To hear the outrageous allegation that the leaders of the People's Republic would sacrifice their people is to make one shudder with outrage. This from a country where Waco and Ruby Ridge have become synonymous with government violence against its own people.
That's the Chinese ambassador's spin. Admiral Jeb Thomas, how do you see it?
It was a stark choice. The United States could either let those vessels pass through the zone, allowing the Chinese forces to resupply and put up stronger resistance against our own fighting men and women, or they could sink those ships. The pictures are horrible, but I think the correct choice was made.
We're going to the South China Sea now, where we have just made our first contact of the day with our own Sally Jarvis on the Independence. Sally, we understand this has been a very frightening day.
Jim, at dawn this morning, a squadron of Chinese fighter bombers attacked the U.S. battle group. The mystery is, where did they come from? Intelligence had not picked up any air base on the Spratlys capable of handling these planes. Given the danger, we will be spending most of our time from now on below deck.
Sally, are you okay?
Jim, I'm fine. They got close, but there were no U.S. casualties. However, there is clearly a sense on board here that this war is entering a more dangerous phase.
Be careful, Sally.